Okay, call the Human Resource Committee to order. The first agenda on the first item on the agenda, approve requests from DSS employees for reimbursement.
Yeah, this is something that comes up very, and I'll let Tim jump in if we need him. This comes up very rarely. A person slipped on wet paint. We had painted the crosswalk. One of Tim's employees slipped, and very minor injuries, but we did cause some damage to her clothing. And of course, this is not covered by our insurance. It's such a small amount. Coming to you to see if you would reimburse her for that.
How much is it?
Tim, do you have that number?
Yeah, it's at $166.50.
What got injured? What got broken or ripped?
No, it's minor injuries. She's asking her for her clothing.
$160 some for
First,
a
pants and shoes.
Should I buy heels then?
Minor $4.
I was just gonna say, when you're paying last $4.
Hendricks moves it. Is there a second?
Second.
Jimmy Bowden?
I have a question. So if I'm working here and I have nylon stockings on my feet, on my legs, and I walk into the filing cabinet and get a scratch, will you reimburse me for my stockings?
No.
If I'm working on the highway department and I mean, have we ever done things like this before? And do we open up the floodgates to saying, no matter how small, $167?
Extremely rare for us to do this.
To have it requested of us or for us to honor the request?
For us to honor their request.
Can you tell me what happened again? There was wet paint?
They
Painted
painted
the
this
crosswalk,
department,
didn't mark it properly.
painted the crosswalk from the thing, from the parking lot over there to
Yeah.
the building. And she was coming to work. She walked on the wet paint, which wasn't dry.
And we didn't mark it, saying it was wet.
And she
She didn't
slipped,
walk between the crosswalks.
Why
She walked where she was supposed to walk.
and she
Should
slipped
have been
in.
marked her,
Hey.
and we didn't do it.
Why?
It was painted at 7. There was a false assumption that it was dry. It wasn't dry.
Why are we paying it? Isn't it the village's responsibility?
Yeah, who painted it?
Is this coming into the new building?
Yeah,
My question answered.
No,
No,
who
it's
is
a
it?
mistake.
Is it just two crosswalks or is it like this? Is it a hash?
It's,
The hash?
yeah, you got like a little rectangle and it's painted diagonally across.
Jim, was it one of our
no,
employees?
our crew painted.
But we painted it for the village.
Yeah.
Did it have any cones or signs or
We
something?
They
painted.
didn't have it blocked off and she just walked across it.
That's been addressed.
She slipped and fell and her clothing got destroyed and she's asking for a reimbursement.
She's got the paint on her.
We goofed up.
The
paint's permanent, give it to her.
We goofed up, pay it.
And workers' comp never covers anything like that. They only cover bodily injury.
Yeah, not closed.
That worked on the face.
Anyone else got anything they want to say? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The next one, approve an agreement between DSS and the Office of the Agent for the heat services for the year 2012-2013 season. Jean, seconded by Mr. Hendricks. Is there any discussion on this one?
How much? This is just, can you just refresh us what we're doing here?
They're paying,
The Department of Social Services contracts is with the Office for the Aging to administer the program.
right.
For the seniors.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else?
Short, sweet, to the point.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Looking for approval of the Office of the Agent application for a grant. May I have a motion? Mr. Shaw, second by Mr. Manna.
Yeah, Kathy's
help us
Yeah.
on it?
This is a new funding stream, it's called the Systems Integration Grant. It's directly correlated to our Herkimer program, which is the information and systems for long-term care services. What the New York State Office for the Aging is trying to do is to basically broaden who we're serving for the information systems, trying to reduce people, applying for Medicaid and going into nursing homes for community-based programs through, to make our network dementia capable. And there's like 11 different, things that we're going to be working on. Care transitions from the nursing home, working with the Alzheimer's Association, making, community-based programs more available to people, any adult age 18 and over. So, they're really working, to basically, I think, try to comply with what the federal government is looking for funding in the future. So we're trying to prepare ourselves for future funding. So, and the grant is $36,800. If I get approval, I would request to start, doing my claims in January, and it'll be for 2 years. So it's a short-term thing, but that would allow us the training that we need to get to be prepared. And it's 100% funding stream also.
Anybody got any questions?
Is it state or federal grant?
It comes from the state. Yeah, and I would need a new revenue and expenditure account, so I don't know if that would require a resolution, because I'd like to be able to
We
put
would do
it-
that during our budget process.
Yeah, in my 2013 budget.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next one is approval of the Health Foundation grant agreement. This is from Dr. O'Keefe. You want to speak on that, Dr.?
This is the grant that you all gave us approval to apply for about 2 months ago. And we received word from community centers in Central and Western New York that they would like to award us $50,000 for this program, which is called the Pregnancy Outreach and Parent Support Program. And our grant requested the money to purchase a van and half of a salary of a family assessment worker, and other smaller amounts to support that. And the goal of the grant is to fill some of the gap where prenatal services have been diminished in the county through the loss of all the obstetric providers and the recent closure of our PCAP program in public health. And one of the objectives is to organize by enlisting pregnant women as early as possible during their pregnancy to come in, be checked, be referred to appropriate agencies, and then using this van to deliver them to obstetric providers so that they can get appointments, so they're welcome. One of the worst things to do is have a patient not show for their obstetric appointment, and then a whole trimester of the pregnancy may be lost because of care. We've already been implementing this with St. Elizabeth's since the closure of our program, and the women who have been organized so that they would make their appointments on time and be welcomed to those obstetric programs has been nearly 100%. St. Elizabeth's Hospital has been our previous partner, but we're also working to develop a relationship with Bassett and St. Louis.
Thank you.
Doctor, so you're saying we're being the taxi, we're gonna use the van for a taxi for the ladies?
It would be a little bit more than a taxi, because what we would plan to do is, if this was gonna happen on a Monday morning, we'd ask them to gather at our setting at 8 o'clock, where they would have some some educational opportunities till they all arrive. Then they would all get into the van. There'd be a DVD in the van that would provide them with educational opportunities on the trip up. And it'd be kind of like a group appointment for them.
So right now,
Same thing on reverse.
so right now, are they getting their self, are we supplying them a ride there now?
No, we're not supplying.
And you're saying that, and you're saying, what I'm getting at is, you're saying that we're at 100% right now without supplying them a ride, right?
Well, those 6 girls that transferred up to St. Elizabeth's, all of them made their first appointment. So
Now, how are you paying for the driver with this?
the driver would be included in the salary, in this grant.
And that's an existing position.
It's an existing position, we would be paying 50% of that existing position to do this driving.
And that person, the assessment, or family assessment worker would be doing the driving, and it's somebody we have on staff right now, and they don't, what are they doing now? I mean, they just have that idle time, and
This is a position that is going to be filled, was filled, is now going to be filled. The person does family assessment work for healthy families, and so they'll be doing the healthy families work and helping these families get organized for their pregnancy, but then also doing the driving in a small amount of the time.
but, and this would be to Utica or Cooperstown or where?
Any and all.
But they would have to get themselves here to be picked up from here?
All the details aren't clear.
Is that your wish? Is that what?
That's my wish.
So you wouldn't be going out and picking them up at their homes?
I don't think so.
So they have a means of getting here though?
Too much.
Most people have a means of getting here, but they don't necessarily have a means of getting to Cooperstown and back.
Anyone else? All those in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, Mr. Bolton.
Jimmy Ball. Fred Shaw.
The next item is a budget amendment for the Healthy Families Grant.
This establishes the breakdown of expenses for the Healthy Families Grant, which was approved at the last meeting.
That grant is for $284,434. And the grant period is from September 1st, 2012 to 8/31/2013.
We approved 190,000 with
CFO.
Aye.
Our family.
I almost said that.
May I have a motion, Mr. Hendricks, seconded by Mr. Shaw. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Tim, did you have another item that we didn't mention?
Yeah, I had two transfers in the budget amendment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, I said to him, I looked here and did you that, I forgot to put it on.
Yeah, I have one here, let me just go
Good,
back.
if you would.
Certainly. The first item is a budget amendment to contracted services with revenue budget amendment to medical assistance state aid. It's out at $58,181. The reasoning behind this is we had a contract with Attorney Nancy Stormer to pursue reimbursement from our, it's called overburden assistance. The contract has since been precluded from pursuing it. So, fortunately, Mrs. Stormer was able to get a final claim. Got us about $351,000 back. We contracted her for 25%. I budgeted $30,000, so I paid her. I need to amend the budget accordingly.
Shame we're gonna lose that ability.
What's that?
Shame we're losing the ability to do that.
Yeah, the state changed the rules.
Yep, again.
They caught on.
They caught it.
Yeah, she's doing it. She's doing it.
May I have a motion? Gene, seconded by Mr. Shaw. Is there any discussion on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now, what was the other one, Tim?
There's two transfers.
Okay.
One, my request is to transfer $40,000 from 6119B, Midian Handicap, to our safety net appropriation. And the other one is to transfer $45,000 from our Committee on Handicap to our Emergency Aid to Adults program.
It's a total of $85,000.
$85,000 total.
Okay.
Will that get you through the end of the year? On the emergency aid to adults, I hope so. On the other one, I can only hope for a downward trend in the case.
Lenny makes the motion. May I have a second? Gene? Is there any discussion on this one? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Anyone else have something? Yeah, Mrs. Rose.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to have an update of what's going on relative to Country Manor. I think that when we last had a conversation, and it may have been in this committee, it may have been in Ways and Means, where I asked to see the proposals from the interested parties that apparently bailed out. I have received information that's not going to be available to me. I've been denied access under FOIA. And one of the contentions in the letter from Attorney Crandall is that there's still negotiations going on. And so the people that I've asked to see of the agreements or paperwork backup that I've asked to see on the three other interested parties are not available to me because there's been no decision made. And I guess I'm trying to find out just where we stand as far as Country Manor and who's doing what and where is it.
The questions to, the answers to the questions that you had asked last meeting will be let out tomorrow, I guess. We'll get those ready for you tomorrow from Steve Reynolds.
Who's Steve Reynolds?
He is the gentleman who's the agent for
He's answering
Advance,
the question.
yes.
All right, so what other negotiations are going on? The last time at
None.
some committee, we had a thing that there was somebody working on a contract, there's not gonna be a letter of intent.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the contract.
We're waiting for their contract.
Absolutely.
And then I guess I wanna understand the timelines of when that is supposed to come and what the rule, where it'll get voted on and where it'll be reviewed.
It'll have to go to all three committees. I'll speak and you guys can do the other. It'll have to go to all three committees. I think the chairman of all three committees have promised that you would have at least a couple weeks to go through that and sift through it. We expected yesterday.
Do we consider the fact that we're negotiating dollars and cents with this firm other than answering our questions? Are we negotiating money? Because the understanding is there's negotiations going on. I'm just wondering if any of the negotiations is on money.
We're negotiating everything.
So there isn't, so what we've had to date is not necessarily the money resolved. That's going to come in addition to us tomorrow?
Not
We're
until
negotiating everything.
this legislature approves everything.
Well, no, I guess the point I'm making, somebody said a contract is coming. Is that contract going to be the fruits of the negotiation? And who's sitting in negotiations?
It's part of negotiations. Exchange of documents is part of negotiations. That'd be part of negotiations. They're ongoing. Nothing gets approved until the committees and the legislature approve.
So, we are waiting, this is a question, for something to come from this firm. One, the answer to all of my questions and whoever else's questions. The second thing is we're waiting for them to send us what they want or what they're looking for. And then we're going to review, and then the county attorney will be negotiating, or is the county attorney currently involved in negotiations? Is the, in contact, I won't use the word negotiations. Is the county attorney in contact with this firm at this point in time to provide information or clarify information?
Why would you want to know that?
Mr. Chairman, I'm interested to know where the negotiations are, where the whole dialogue is taking place. I don't think I have to explain why I want it. I want to know if there's continual back and forth dialogue going on.
well, you do to me before I tell you why.
I'm talking to the
Contact.
chairman.
You have to explain to me why you want contact question answered. That makes no sense to me.
Well, I've been denied access to the information of the 3 other parties that have expressed interest. I did not, I was told at the time that if there was, Mr. Russell had indicated that there would be a review done to see what we would be allowed to see. I received a letter, I'm not allowed to see anything, because there's all this negotiations that are going on, and I'm trying to understand just where those negotiations are.
Well, we're still waiting for the contract. We need-
Well, Mr. Chairman, what I'm trying to understand is that contract document going to come because we gave input to that document, or is it just something coming from that provider?
Coming from them.
So that's what's coming from them, so we haven't given anything to them to bridge into it. That's called negotiations, I guess, okay, I guess that's negotiation, we're waiting for them to send us something so that.
That was the last contact. Ask them
It's
for.
the initial,
And can we know what the census is there now?
uh,
We're down to 29.
29. Is there anything else? Okay, I have a motion to adjourn. Second?